But LeBron James has already been ruled out for the start of the regular season with sciatica on his right side. Now, the Lakers announced that he would be reevaluated 2 to 3 weeks from now, but the timeline for his return, it is starting to crystallize. So for more, we welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what details do you have on when we could see LeBron return to the floor and what that process is going to look like for him?
Malik, I'm told LeBron and the Lakers are beginning to look at around mid-November as a realistic potential return and debut for him. October 30th is the soonest they're going to officially reevaluate LeBron James, but it's expected he's going to need some time, probably a couple weeks, 3 weeks after that point. And one thing to keep in mind here with this return process from injury is a source told me this week that LeBron will be taking a patient approach from the rehab with this nerve issue that he's had. And you think about the ramp-up period that he's going to need to get into basketball conditioning, to get into the proper shape that we're accustomed to from LeBron James, because this was not a routine offseason for him. He had this first nerve issue start to develop and occur in late July, early August. And so it's been really an uphill battle since that point. He's superhuman. We all know that. But he is about to be 41 in December, and he is in year 23, so expect some point in November, likely around that mid-November period.
Okay, mid-November is what we could be looking at here for LeBron James. Shams, we appreciate you. We'll see you a little bit later in the show. What you were just looking at on your screen, if we could put that back up, actually, it was the first 20 games of the Lakers season. So if the timetable would hold for that true November right here, LeBron could make his debut around the week of Thanksgiving. Los Angeles plays just 8 games against opponents who made the postseason in their first 20 this season, okay? So they don't have a horrible schedule, Bobby, to start off the year. Of course, what goes through my mind is LeBron James has made 21 straight All-NBA teams. It's something we haven't seen before, and I don't think we'll ever see again. But with him out until mid-November, what could be the biggest challenge facing the Lakers?
I think it's going to be offensively here. I think how do you replace a player that scored in the mid-20s consistently every year here? And when you look at what the Lakers tried doing last night is they basically have been trying to force feed Dalton Connect and trying to give him a bigger role here, and he has certainly been inconsistent. I think you know what you're going to get with Luka every night, and you do know what you're going to get with Austin Reaves. But it's who out of the role players, the complementary players, is going to step in that role. It might be by committee here, Malika, when you look at Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura and certainly DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, and Marcus Smart but I'm just concerned if you don't have enough offense in some of these games. There might be some games where you're basically going to have to rely defensively, and you might have to just muddy it up here for them to get by in these, this next month.
Bobby, you should have seen, I was hoping that we would just take Perk's face the moment that you said it's going to maybe some struggles offensively. What was the face you made? I think we need to show the people. Something like that.
Yeah, but he mentioned Austin Reaves, so I kind of went away from that face. But it's, hey.
I know what Perk. I know. I was reading Perk's mind. He was saying, "Well, wait a minute. They got Luka on this roster.
And
he
Austin
can make
Reaves.
Everybody look good."
But think about this, y'all. It's something that's trending in the basketball world, right? And it's the double bigs, right? You got double bigs up here with you on set, Malika. The Lakers, yes, they went out and got DeAndre Ayton, but is JJ Redick going to play Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton a lot of minutes together on the floor? We don't know, but probably not. But they're going to need to, because think about it. You go against a team like the Houston Rockets, you might be facing Şengün and Steven Adams. You go against OKC, obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Dallas with AD and Derek Lively. So they're still, in my opinion, going to have trouble in the interior. Yes, DeAndre Ayton is going to solve some of the problem, but with the trend of teams going with the double big lineup, that's where they're still going to have trouble the most in the interior.
But by the way, we have Luka too, and he's the beast. He can carry everything. But let's go be honest. I'm watching him in Slovenia team. I'm watching him I play with him. I play with him in Dallas, of course. And I watched him other day how he looked against Phoenix. He looked really good. How he moving, how he react, how he enjoy, how he smile. He's the winner every time because we are friends. I know when we play some small stupid games, he want to win every time. Never mind what kind of game is that. Some stupid random game that nobody cares. He cares, he's the winner, and he can do it. And it's this who he is. And they have good team to win the games.
The table is set. The table is set for Luka not only to be put his name back in the MVP conversation, but also to go win a scoring title. The table is set for him to do it.
I have no concerns about what Luka Doncic can bring after what we've seen. And J.J. Redick has said that he expects this final preseason game on Friday to be a dress rehearsal for the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're going to play their guys. It's going to be as close to a sample. Yeah, as close to a sample as we're going to get in the preseason.
AI?
In the preseason. He says he's been, asking. Now we head out to North.
LeBron, Kyrie, AD, DeAndre Ayton, and Cooper Flag.
Yeah, a lot of talent there.
A lot of talent. Coming up, fresh off his hot shooting performance versus the Mavs, we'll hear from Gabe Vincent as he discusses his mindset heading into the season. Plus, we'll look forward to big man DeAndre Ayton's impact manning the middle for the purple. And he would be going for again, but I know records and all that stuff, he owns them all. So it's more about being ready. It said he wants to be patient with this approach as well, Mike.
Yeah, so just
that's a smart
specifics for when it could be. I'm just looking at the schedule, and it's New Orleans and Milwaukee is a back-to-back on the 14th and the 15th of November. I thought it was Minnesota first, but yeah, Milwaukee. That's a ridiculous back-to-back. Then they have just one game the next week. It's Utah on the 18th. The next game isn't until the 23rd.
Maybe you play one of those.
Yeah, so maybe you could target coming back for that Utah game, just kind of knock some rust off, get the extra recovery days until the next matchup, which is at Utah. So that makes sense. If I'm going to try to find a positive out of this, Skeeter, it's that, all right, this is going to be Luka Doncic's franchise moving forward. Right now, it's still Luka Doncic's and LeBron's, with sprinkle in some Austin Reaves and et cetera. So this gives Luka a chance to really assert himself as a leader, as the absolute fulcrum of the team, as the way that they're going to build around it. And then LeBron comes back, and to me, maybe this lets LeBron elongate how much he can play at that highest level this season. So instead of spending all of that capital on the court, is how many miles he's got more than anybody else ever has, but how many miles does he have left for a postseason run? And maybe this helps the Lakers ultimately have a better chance of winning playoff series if LeBron gets this early rest.
That is along the lines of what Danny Green was sitting in that same chair talking about, like, hey, this is year 23. And LeBron doesn't have to chase all those things, playing the amount of games and all the awards. Like, it's about playing great when it really counts, and maybe having all that in the tank when it gets to the playoffs. And maybe this helps it, because how do they manage him in year 23, Brez? How does he manage it?
Yeah, it's never been done. As you can see right here, Vince Carter came close, Kevin Willis, a few other guys,
And by the way, Brez, all those guys, none of those guys played major minutes either in that last year. Yeah, this is like I've been studying this for a few years now, and that was like maybe 15 minutes per game, maybe 6 points. Like LeBron was all NBA second team last year.
Is this the year, guys, where it's less minutes and less games?
Well, it's really I'm very cautious around that narrative. Remember, a couple years ago, LeBron played a few minutes under 30 in the season opener. And everybody, a lot of the beat writers are chasing that story. I would have too if I was still a beat writer. What's going on here? And then the very next game, he played his usual mid-30s, in the minutes, maybe even more, just to prove a point. So it's really hard to predict what the minutes are going to look like. All I know is the points, the rebounds, the assists, they're still where they have been really for the last several years. There's been no discernible drop in any of the stats. Maybe there's one I'm missing. I don't know. But it's just been really fun to watch, Mike. And I don't know. How would you?